Hello and welcome back to another session of Google.rs Inspiring Speaking. And the previous sessions have all been trying to get concurrent cargo going, and there has been a now closed RFC to get concurrent cargo going. However, this RFC used a very fine-grained approach of locking, which is actually required to get what I want. And I got it to work to the point where, yes, I could build my stuff in a highly concurrent fashion and it would work. But there are still many things that didn't work as expected. So the idea is to redesign this and just use one simple single global lock initially. So there's really just one cargo doing anything on a system. The cool thing is that this should be easy to implement. However, before we do that, we shall do the adjustments that are discussed here. So basically, we changed the primary module names here and called it byFD, by file name, and I proposed, well, let's cut the prefix here. Even though I kind of like this, file log byFD, by file name, I do like it. I don't know. We can still change it around. However, we'll just see, right? And then the internal structure should all be named just log and error. So that way you determine by import and maybe using renames what you want. So let's do this. Yikes, we are in Python. I know. It's judgmental to say yikes, but I don't like Python anymore. What can I do? I never liked it, but now I kind of have problems doing anything there. So file lock. And let's just start renaming this stuff, huh? So this one will now be called FD. I think I should do this here. Wow, I'm well prepared. Actually, Git Python I think should be done now. So let's use file log here. So git move source lock. That's lock C. Okay, lock.rs should now be fd.rs. And there should be the flock that is now file name. File log, file name, file lock, and an FD file log. They're kind of all the same, but different levels of abstraction. That's how I see it. Good. And now that we have that, I guess we can just rename a few types. The cool thing is that this kind of refactoring in Rust is super simple in the sense that you don't have to be afraid of anything. It will just work and the compiler will check everything. So this is of course now FD, this is now file name. And now we can't do anything, can't import anything anymore. That's kind of the whole idea. So pub mod, but nothing we can get here because we shall rename the type, the main type. Oh wait, this is locked, this is error, this is still okay. I wonder, should I keep lock kind alive? Or should it just be kind now? I think kind would be sufficient because we know that we are kind of in the context of a lock when we do anything here. Yeah, I think I will rename that as well. But let's do one after another. Let's first do the file name renaming. Use fd self lock kind. And yeah, let's do a find and replace here, just to be sure. FD like this. That could even work. And now a full featured rename of file log. Oh well, let's actually not do this because now we could run into name clashes, but probably not in this file. So here, actually it will happen in this file. You know what? I think I will not import anything here anymore. So lock kind is now, you know, this lock kind, that affects both, right? That affects both types. So I think it's a bit wrong to have it exclusively in lock. So maybe we should restructure it and put these into a new file instead. Let's do that. Let's put it into util. Even though util tends to be kind of optional, types, enums, well, I like util. Which would basically mean that we put lock kind there in access mode and the respective implementations of these guys. Error trait for parse. Yeah, okay. It's a bit mixed. I think it's a good idea to put it into a separate file. So util.rs. Thank you. And you shall receive these types here and all the implementations. And yeah, we might want to re-export these types in the top level, maybe even. Mod util, and then we use, let's say, pub use kind. Yeah, it's a file lock kind. I think I will rename it. That makes sense. But for now, pub use fd lock kind and access mode. Maybe there's more. So here we have as ref from string, then for access mode, the same thing, into. So these guys, they all go away now. It's very nice. A bit cleaner. So that is that. So now I should be able to just use util lock kind and access mode, which is what I would need here to make this compile. And also, yeah, I have the Rust linter enabled, even though I'm kind of missing it telling me that it doesn't work. Unresolved import. Oh yeah, true, there is no lock kind in FD. So that might be better. Good. Now, let's try to fix the obvious stuff. This could already work here. Maybe file name needs some changes. Where is access mode supposed to come from? That's interesting. Not from anywhere. Oh yeah, true. Previously I imported all of this. So from FD we get error. Yeah, that's okay. And that's all, huh? And the rest of the stuff seems to be access mode related. Oh no. So people are starting to do the construction work again, so I will have to close all the windows. Just a moment. And closing all the windows at these temperatures is a very bad thing for me, but anyway. So we have access mode and what else? The lock kind. There we go. So now this would be a bit better. And possibly maybe all we have left to fix is all the tests. But let's see if build works so far. Nope, not quite. Unresolved name lock. Okay, that's all in file name. So lock. Yeah, we'll do this manually one by one because there shouldn't be too many mentions of it. Unlock. That's also FD unlock. And the rest is just self unlock. All right, a bit better. From string for lock kind. Oh, unresolved. So I think we only use it in that context, huh? And FMT we might also need. FMT. Where is parse error coming from? I think that's also a type that is only used in conjunction with the utility types. Yeah, so let's put it where it belongs, shall we? And this needs FMT display. And yeah, that's just error. Good, so we just have to take a few things. FMT we use here as well. And error trait we use here as well. Good, so we just copy this. The cool thing is that error trait we don't have to rename here, because we shouldn't have a type or structure named error. By the way, where's the implementation of this? Did I forget it? Parse error? Or did we just not implement the error trait? No, input error for parse error. Here we go. Good. I renamed that already. Guess what? I forgot in the 10 seconds that were between me changing this. Okay, so now that builds, I guess we have a lot of tests that don't work. Why would they? So let's do one after another. Test unit. Yeah, I guess I will just look at that. Because all the imports are essentially nonsense now. From file log, import everything. No. Well, I could just, rename this stuff and say, well, so this basically imported the log types, log kind and so on. So from file log, use log kind and access mode. Do we use access mode here? Yes. I mean, if not, we would get a linter warning that we have unused import. So again, there's no problem with that. Then use file log fd log and what else? Is that it? Let's see how far we go with that. And unfortunately, the linter doesn't operate on that. So then we need error, really? Error, no. That's my error type. So let's bring in the log error type. And that's a lot better. And then we have a file log here. So this one needs a rename. Use file log, file name, log. Did we rename it already? I think we did. Log as file log, right? So now, unresolved, excuse me. I didn't rename it yet. Well, fine. File log shall be log. And yeah, do we have a name clash here? I don't think so. If you use fd log, yeah, we don't use the log type anyway, so yeah, that should be fine. Cool. One test works. Now, tests process log. And yeah, I think we just have to fix the imports. We need the log type and then it should work. Process log, use file log, fd log, right? That's the only thing we use here. And then the log kind, use file. I wonder if I should import or get the log kind into each of these submodules, and it's all the same type. So you can basically get the kind from fd, but maybe that would be confusing to have a double export. Yeah, probably that would be confusing because people might think that it's two distinct types even though it's the same, and that might not even work. I never tried that. So yeah, so that's a bit inconvenient, right? We have to do two separate imports now to get this lock kind and access mode. Yeah, we can actually do this. Because to do anything, we need these types, right? And it's now 2 lines, at least. Yeah. Process file lock. You might also rename these. Process lock fd, process lock file name. Yeah, I think I will rename them. Now we need the file lock and access mode, at least. Fine. Here we go. From file lock, import lock kind and access mode. Use file lock, file name, and lock. I think the rename didn't end up here. So file lock shall be lock now and should be better. It is. Awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't rename these types, but I would rename the files. Git move source, tests process file lock, tests process file process, yeah, file name lock, fd lock. Yeah, I think that's okay. So process fdlock.rs. Okay, cool. That could be the changes. I mean, we are still missing some doc tests, obviously. And I think if I run all the tests now, can I run the doc test explicitly? I think I should be able to. Test bin example lib test only the package library. I think this would run the doc tests, right? Let's try. Yeah, great. Would this run the doc tests? No. How do I run the doc tests explicitly? I think there is no such flag. Well, that was them. Let's see, in FD we have one. So this is file lock. Do we need the access mode? Yeah, access mode and lock kind. We need both all the time. And I shall rename lock kind as well. Use file lock fd lock like this. So now one should be working. That's good. That's this one. Then I think the last one left is this guy here. It's kind of the same thing. If it's the same thing, I should be able to be lazy and just copy this. Oh, that's a top level one now. So laziness doesn't really work here, but a little bit. Changing 2 characters is okay. No. No. Error, the error type should also be imported. Same here? Yeah, same here. Awesome. But now it should work. Nearly there. So error is still not there. It's a bit difficult for me to figure out which doc test this guy is referring to. Where is it coming from? Log new. I mean, I've been importing the log here. So that should be fine, right? Is it? Oh, here the import is entirely missing. Why would that be? Because I deleted it somehow. Awesome. Cool. So now the tests are back online. Last thing, change lock kind into kind. Do it 53 occurrences. Wow. I could be afraid of that, but I'm not, because the compiler shall tell me if anything is awkward. But a simple rename still works as expected. Awesome. So that is better, I think. Cool. Yeah, let's prepare a commit. Oh, actually, let's try cargo doc. Just to see how it looks like now. Modules, access mode, and kind. Yeah, we could also shorten this and say mode, right? Kind and mode. Why not? Let's do it. Let's be very, very short and concise. Yeah, I still don't like the multiple imports thing, but we have kind of two separate log types now. And yeah, why would one of them own these utilities, huh? We can't do it. So let's document that again and run the tests again, which are just expected to work here. All right. Good. And I think the last thing we could do, well, actually we have to commit that, because then we have to adjust cargo. Actually, I will adjust my branch that is kind of discarded, but I want to keep it up to date and then start a new one in the next session. So, yeah. Does it look acceptable in the docs? I think it does. And the good thing is that the documentation should be updated once this has been merged again. Yeah, so let's sum up what we did. Oh, I think, yeah, that's a real issue. I can't stage stuff that has been renamed. That's so annoying. I mean, I do it rarely enough, but still. So I have to use a command line for this. There we go. Refactor file lock. Adjust names. Adjust module and type names. So move rename lock to fd, rename module lock to fd, rename module flock to file name, and then we renamed file lock to lock, and we moved the lock kind and access mode into file lock namespace, and we renamed these guys. Rename type lock kind to kind, and renamed type access mode to mode. Adjusted all tests to go with it. The only negative thing about this change seems to be the requirement to use statements to use anything within this crate. This makes it a bit more inconvenient, but that's really all. This makes it a bit more inconvenient. We could solve this. Well, can we? I don't know. Let's try it real quick. So let's export this stuff from log or from FD. Oh, what's happening here? Mode is not there, but it compiled, right? Yeah, I think this is just out of date, huh? Yeah, it's out of date. All right. So I can pub use them, right? To re-export them. So does this work? It seemed to have worked. So now I should see these here. Where was I? Was I in FD? I was in FD. Yeah, and here they are. So maybe I should do it like that. And this would allow us to later actually change them into separate kinds if we like to, even though right now they are the same. Yeah, so let's do it like that. I think that's even better. Makes it more convenient. So this goes away. This goes away. And then people just pull the stuff out of the respective log file kind. So here we go. That's going to be a pub use. It doesn't like it. Oh, so maybe... Oh, interesting. So I have to put this here for it to work. Awesome. Good. So now I should be able to show that the tests don't work anymore because we don't need these separate imports anymore. That's awesome. So file log. These ones we are looking for now. Because now these can be merged into one. Mode and kind. That's it. So that looks much better, doesn't it? Short, concise, one line only. And I think that's, yeah, I prefer that totally. So same thing here. Same thing here. File log. And two more. Nice. And the last one. And we should be done. Let's see. If cargo agrees. No. File log mode. What? Unresolved import file log mode. Where do I get that? In support. Yeah, so that's a bit ambiguous now, right? We use the mode here, and we know both are the same types, but we have to decide for one. And that's a bit odd, but hey. Should work now. Totally does. I think convenience is more important here. And people, I don't know if people are able to see that it's the same one. It's the same thing, probably only by comparing the documentation, which happens to be exactly the same. So why is there one item not documented? Oh, look, it's actually both of them not documented. Attempt a lock without blocking the call. Attempt to lock and return from the call once the lock was obtained. Or there was some error, of course. So that is that. Read write represents a file access mode, for instance, read and write. A shared, use this to obtain a shared lock, i.e. there may be any amount of readers at the same time, but only one writer. Well, actually, that's not really important. Used to indicate an exclusive lock. I think documenting it that way is quite a good thing, because that's really what it means. It's a lock type. And if it means that, I wonder, well, it also affects the file access mode, so I guess it's okay to do it that way and kind of have it in the description and the documentation what it actually means. I used to indicate an exclusive lock, i.e. there may only be one writer at a time. And yes, we only support right now locking the entire file. Obviously, you can have fine-grained control over the ranges of the file that you want to lock and stuff, but yeah, we don't get into that. We don't need that for simple file locking semantics. All right, that is that. Maybe I should turn on error checking, spell correction, or spell checking. It's not a spell correction. Remove remover. It's better as part of a temp file. Maybe I shouldn't put this into the documentation. So the remover, where is that? Do we use remover anywhere else? In unit tests we use it. Okay, so I think that to-do can go away. Let's do some cleanup. Is there anything else in the to-do realm? No, that's good. So cargo doc, let's just rebuild them real quick and reload. So that looks much better. And I like that. That looks clean, short, nice. I think that's how a crate should be. You know, I like it. And if people have name clash issues, they can have localized users, or okay, they can localize their users after they can use basically in every scope. And they can also rename this stuff, rename the types to something that is more unique or less ambiguous. Awesome. I think that's it. Let's just amend to the previous commit and kill the nodes here, because there is no negative thing left. Please note that you export the same utility types per module. Well, that's actually an IE. That means FD and file name for convenience. This could make the impression these are distinct types, even though they are not. They are not. And that's the only negative thing I can find about it. Okay, cool. That should work. Let's run it one more time and push it. Wow, since when do I use the command line for this? So let's have a look. Oh, damn it. Good up, file lock. That didn't work out at all. Since when can it not find the file lock? Module. File log, 10,000 of these. Well, actually not 10,000, more than 250 repositories. Perl, Python, Rust. Where's Rust? Excuse me, sir. Rust doesn't even count. Damn it. So what? Yeah, do I have a... What happens here? Does it still count? Probably not, huh? Since it was closed, I have to make a new PR. Yeah, it should be listed here if it was there. Oh, it's file dash log. Now I get it. Yeah, this dash stuff sucks in a way. Yeah, I mean, I use dash as well, but probably one should call... Yeah, I don't know. I actually use dashes as well all the time. But that... So now we're talking. Good. Cargo adjustments. Compare and make pull requests. This PR contains the latest changes. Contains the changes discussed in the previous incarnation of the very same topic, and we shall link to that. Yeah, so I kind of like it. Actually, not only kind of, I do like it. It should be seen. Cargo adjustments, let's call it part 2. And then there's no need to further declare what it should be or should not be. Yeah, so there we go. I think that's the one. Okay, I merged the origin master in there at some point, and that is that. Cool. So I think that is the fix that we need. Next one is setting up cargo with a global log file. That should be relatively easy, but we shall see. Thanks for watching and have a great day.